It's showtime. Hey, how's everyone going? Hey there, David. How are you?
I just came back from a concert. Sorry, that's why we got delayed. I'm all like, do you have your
No problem.
or something? Because we have what do you call it? A reverb.
I Is there a reverb?
I
Maybe I'm
heard.
too loud here. Anyway, we got a message somewhere here. If I can get them up there
I've already been chatting with Eric
with Erico.
Enrico Dione Viglione. He's got a good Italian name like a mine, a Molinaro.
And can you see it on the screen? I'm not seeing it
Yep,
highlight. You can. Okay, I can. So as long as you can see it. Yeah, well, actually, I'm half Italian myself, David and Enrico. My real biological father was Gino Raffaelli, probably. So my last name would be Raffaelli.
Give me
But
some.
give me some pasta. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Enrico. That's very offensive. Sorry.
I'm Italian. Why is that offensive?
You're not. It's not offensive if you do it, but I'm only half. So anyway. So tell us a little bit about your concert that you were at today, or tonight, I should say, where you are. It's still today for me, but
okay, good. You can remove Erico's. Thank you. So I went to see an artist. I've seen him before. His name is Perfume Genius. And he's hungry. I don't want any sauce. I'm a vegan. So
I'll give me that meat sauce. I'm a carnivore.
It was in the Hollywood Hills, so it's always great. It's an outdoor venue up in the hills. It's beautiful. Yeah, so really.
Yeah, from the pictures you sent me, it looked really nice.
Yeah.
So, and you had a pretty close seat, if you said,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I could. I'm gonna drop my phone. I could show you.
Here's Rob from L Space. Hey, Rob, thanks for popping in. Rob is kind of a vampire working late, so I'm glad to see you here, Rob. Thank you.
I don't know if you can see it's not coming through, but I went to the Funko Pop store. It's not coming through on my iPad. It shows up really good when I show pictures, but not.
Yeah, you had the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
Funko
I went to
right?
the Funko Pop store. It's not showing up. So if I transfer,
that's all right.
Yeah, but that would be too much. So yeah, I went to a concert and got home a little bit late. But if we do this again next week, which I hope we do, there won't be any problems. There won't be a problem with time. And this is your first.
Yeah, well, next week. Yes, it's the first one I'm managing, so it's going to be as Jim at News from the Gilding would say, shambolic, I'm sure, but we'll get through it. Okay, thanks for coming on to help me and cheerlead through. Because if I was just spitballing by myself, it might be pretty scary. But anyway, I wanted to put this back up so you could. Here's Paul too. So we have Rob from L Space Archives, whose timing sometimes makes him, for his work, I think, makes him miss a lot of other live streams. And here's Paul from Geeks Love Dogs, great channel too. So yeah, it doesn't often get to see a live stream at 3 a.m. your time. Yeah, and I know you work late too, although I think are you off now, Paul? Are you off tonight?
He's actually going to shoot a video in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, that's right. He's gonna take off in a bit. All right. Well, if you have a chance to check out Paul's or Rob's channel, does Erico have a channel?
I don't know, Erico. So this is the first time I'm meeting.
Eric. Oh, really? I thought he was one of your followers that came in. Because anyway, if I have met Erico before and didn't remember, I apologize, Erico. Thank you for being here. Anyway, you want to talk a little bit about what your channel a little bit, David? Sure. Because not everybody who watches my channel knows about you yet, even though I've linked a few times to your channel.
So I've been on YouTube for about 4.5 years, and I guess I'm one of these kind of channels that you have to develop a taste for, because I'm very eclectic. Like I show records and comics and books and talk about movies and talk about what I did this week, my experiences. I show pictures. I just do whatever I feel like. And so there's like niche channels out there, like people focus only on vintage paperbacks, or people who focus only on records and comics. And I kind of have to tread through all of those waters. And I think my channel suffers because of that. But in the long run, I think it's better because I do meet people like you who don't mind a little bit of eclecticism. And I find that people that do latch onto my channel, they tend to like it and stay. So I
think that's that's pretty much what these kind of channels that we're doing for fun are. We're not worried about getting a lot of money or being famous or whatever. We just want to reach out and which would be zero. Yeah, just reaching out and meeting other cool like-minded people. And I like eclectic channels. I have a lot of BookTube friends who are eclectic, and have some others who specialize in science fiction or fantasy, especially, or horror. And that's cool too. But I haven't quite branched out quite as eclectic as you with your separate jigsaw puzzling channel and everything. I think that's cool.
I was going to mention that in a bit. I was going to do a plug, but yeah, I actually did not want to make my YouTubers suffer through a puzzle. So I actually did a totally separate channel for that jigsaw.
Well, and you also, I'm not a big puzzler, but I liked your, I like what you did with your channel, because you do the time lapse kind of of you putting the thing together and then show the final thing. But anyway, I guess we'll have to chinwag about that later. But yeah, I definitely recommend Garage Geek, David's channel. It's a lot of fun. Would you say you're predominantly a comics channel, or are you? I guess channel.
No, actually, I predominantly started out in vinyl, because when I started, those were the people that kind of latched onto me. And I do show a lot of comics, but I also, it doesn't seem like it, but I used to show tons of vinyl, and I would go over a lot of music. And I just, I kind of got away from that because I'm not in my garage right now, because for a bunch of reasons. It's hot and it's messy. And I used to have AC out there, but it broke. So now I'm inside. Like, the dogs can't be out there with me because it's just too hot.
You got to get a new AC unit, I guess. But I guess you're coming into fall, so I know LA is usually pretty warm year round, but it gets cold by your guys' standards, right? Down into the 60s or something.
Yeah. So I'll be out in the garage more from now on.
Very cool. Well, we didn't have a buddy read or anything for a theme like that, so I just thought the one I could ramshackle together real quick, because I just got a wild hair to try a live stream, and David was nice enough to to agree to it at the last minute, even when he had a concert to go to. So I just thought we'd talk a little bit about physical media, as it says in the thumbnail, physical media rules, right? So I think you would agree with that, right, David, from all the stuff that I see you have?
Absolutely. I don't know if you want to talk about some of the things that have been going on with physical media, like streaming platform, cutting parts out of movies and that kind of thing. And
also stuff disappearing. Yeah. Well, similar to, I guess with me, similar to the books I read, which are old and kind of idiosyncratic or esoteric or hard to track down. I like a lot of older movies and TV shows as well. And those usually aren't on a lot of the streaming platforms. Here in Japan, I have Amazon Prime, I have Netflix, and they have a lot of cool stuff, but they don't have, they have a lot of older Japanese stuff on Amazon Prime. Maybe in some of the stuff I talk about would be on Amazon in the US. But yeah, I think the main thing about physical media, especially if it's, like a book or theoretically a Blu-ray, and I guess LPs, vinyl seems to last forever today if it's well taken care of, is they will be there untouched from their original format for quite a long time. They'll probably outlast us, I would think. Some of my stuff will. Certainly the books will, if we take care of them. What are
Yeah,
your
for
thoughts on that, on the streaming versus collecting mentality?
Well, I actually love streaming. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I'm
I
a
don't
collector
either. No.
at heart, right? And
Yeah.
so there's so in today's modern age, like streaming is, hey, if you don't have something, you could order it and pay money for it and wait for it to arrive, or you could see if it's available for streaming. And for example, so many streaming platforms like Tubi or whatever, they have a lot of this stuff for free. You just have to sit through some commercials maybe. And I mean, let's say I wanted to watch Batman, the TV show, like that's available on Tubi. And of course I could go out and order it, and it would arrive and I would have it. And maybe you want to do both, but
Yeah, I think there's no reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think streaming's great for a lot of stuff. I don't watch a lot of modern shows, but I do watch some. And what would para physical media be? Yes, that's a good question, Erico. Good question. Well, I think that for me, again, we don't have Tubi over here in Japan. There's a lot of things that probably are more easily accessible in the States than there are here. So especially when I first moved over to Japan 21 years ago, I really missed my DVDs, and I should say rephrase that. When I moved to South Korea, I was in Seoul for a year and a half before I came to Japan, and I really missed my DVDs then. They had something called a video bong where you could rent a space, and they'd have a big TV, and you could rent a movie and watch it with your privacy of by yourself or with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. And that was great, but I missed my own collection. So I made sure to bring at least a big sleeve full of them out of their cases with me to Japan. And I've just been doing that since then. As you can see, I probably have about 800 plus Blu-rays, plus them over there. And I got more than that on DVD for sure. So, anyhow, I think they're both great. Streaming's great for some things, and of course, YouTube has a lot of movies, older movies now, which is cool, and TV shows that you can watch. So that's all great. But I am always going to have some of my favorites here. Yep. So would you like to go first? I thought we could kind of show some of our favorite and maybe lesser well-known movies or TV shows, either on Blu-ray or DVD, and then maybe a few books that might tie into some of those. I'll make you big, and why don't you whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try this. Okay. And drag you over. I'm still learning, guys. Give me a break here. Okay, here we go.
All right. So hi guys. So I'm gonna start
your poochies around.
Yeah, they just came in. My husband just brought them in. Now I'm gonna start with something we said we weren't gonna do. Now I wanted to do more obscure stuff, and this morning everything I was looking for. I wanted to find the physical movie, and I was having so much trouble. So I kind of took the easy way out and grabbed what was available. So
that's fine.
And we said we might not bring up horror because later, but my first is going to be Frankenstein.
Oh, that's great.
The reason I'm going to do Frankenstein is at the end of this month, I decided that I bought this. This is a puzzle, and it's called The World of Frankenstein. And the thing about it is it has all these details from the novel. So as you're doing the puzzle, you can see different scenes. And I just thought it would be really cool to do this puzzle around Halloween. And also, as I'm doing the puzzle, I would listen to the audiobook because I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I do puzzles. And so
that's a good use of your time. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one of my dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and show off some of the versions of Frankenstein that I have. So this is a VHS tape. I have a big collection of these Universal Monsters VHS. And I have this DVD set. Now, this DVD set is pretty cool because it has all of the Frankenstein movies, and there's about 5 or 6 of them. And I forget what they are, like House of Frankenstein, Bride of
Son of Frankenstein is the third, I think. Then House, and then Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, maybe.
Ghost of Frankenstein.
That's right, Ghost of Frankenstein.
Bride, Son, Ghost, and House. But this is one of those sets that has all of them, and it's pretty cool because in this set, it pulls out, and it's just a neat collection.
If you have the Blu-ray set, it should have Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein as well.
I have the Blu-ray.
They had all the separate creature ones, and then they have the one that I have, which is somewhere over here, that has the main ones. I'll just make myself big real quick for a second here to show this, if I can do it, and then while you're looking for your other one.
Oh, that has yeah.
So this is the main one, but they have ones that for just Dracula, just Frankenstein, just the Wolfman, just the Creature, and just the Invisible Man, I think. And all of them have Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein on them. But this one's pretty nice, cool. And it has the booklet, and it has the nice pictures of the monsters and folds out.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
This is the British one, because I bought this for a fraction of the price. That came with all these lobby cards too. Well, if you ever want some lobby cards, let me know.
You know what those are good for? You can actually put them all in one frame and hang them up, and they look beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that. It's got the mummy.
Yeah, you should. I did that actually for my brother, and he still has it, and it looks beautiful. Every time.
You're probably much more artistic than I am when it comes to that sort of thing.
I it for a framing thing, and I picked out the frame and the mat.
Oh,
they cut the mat out for it.
Also, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. I'm sure you have some Blu-rays of Frankenstein as well.
So this one is the Alex Ross is one of my favorite comic book artists, and he did steel books for the Universal Monsters, and and they're all black and white. But look at the gorgeous art on these things. So yeah, that is and it also has interior art, which is really, really cool. And I have
sorry about that. My son burst into the room there, so
don't worry.
I apologize.
And that's cool. And the final thing that I'm going to show, I think I was supposed to show a book first, and I didn't even.
No. Movie first, then book is fine. So, do you have the book of Frankenstein?
I have a bunch of. I think I have.
Oh, we have Deb from Australia here. So that's the one thing about being late is we can have some Australians who are on my time schedule more or less, and some Brits. Cool. So what is this?
This is the novel. It was. It's these garish. I don't know if they were put out for Halloween or what. I only have two. I think they only put out two, and I mean, who wouldn't want to buy these if you saw them in a store? I mean, look at those gorgeous garish colors. I just think
that's amazing. Cool.
Yeah. So there's the Frankenstein, and look at the back. It's the back of his head.
Nice.
And they're cheap. They were cheap, I think. So they're still available. I believe they're Penguin. Are they? Let me see.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised Penguin would do that kind of neon colored covers there. That's cool.
Yeah, they are Penguin. You can see the little Penguin logo right there.
Yeah. Gotta love the little penguin.
That was my cop out Frankenstein.
Well, that's good. Well, great. Well, I'm gonna not start with a movie myself. I'm gonna start with a TV series on Blu-ray, and you probably know this one. And this is again not so esoteric, but it's really I really love it. And this is Firefly. Have you seen this?
Of course, that show is amazing. And Serenity.
Yeah. Geeks Loves Dogs also likes Firefly as well, although he's talking about Andy Warhol. Yeah, that's a good point. They do look like Andy Warhol, those Frankenstein and
Dracula.
Kind of, yeah. So I have, of course, this. I have it on DVD as well, and of course I have the sequel movie Serenity, which is also great. Mm-hmm. Love this show. When I was living in England, I came back, and right as the show had ended, and then some friends showed me some they had taped on. They had recorded, and I was like, "This show was written for me." It's a space western. It's perfect. So, and I'm sure again this is not a little known probably, but it was under seen for sure.
Yeah.
But it looks like we have a couple of fans there. Paul loves Firefly, I know that, and it looks like Deb from Omnivorous Reader in Australia there also loves it. So yeah, it's great. Now I know Joss Whedon is persona non grata right now, but I like a lot of what he did. I liked Buffy, I liked Angel a lot, but Firefly was like I said, like he had made it for me, and I was very sad when it was canceled and the movie didn't do as well as it should. Although I think it did quite well afterwards, like in the sell-through market or whatever. And you're going to be surprised, maybe a little bit, David. I have a couple of comics about Firefly.
I knew they were.
I have Serenity, Those Left Behind, and I also have Serenity, Better Days.
Wow.
Now, I know there are more, and I don't collect a lot of comics. I want to get some more. They're kind of more graphic novels, which always makes more sense to me. The reason I don't really collect individual comics is because I just read them so fast. And but if it's a thicker one, but I was in the Tacoma Book Center, which is one of the best bookstores in Washington State last summer, and I saw these for I think $5 a piece or something. What were they? Yeah, $5. I still got the price in pencil on the inside there. So the art's pretty good and the story's pretty good. There's some cool. I don't know if you can. Am I get it in frame okay?
No, the art looks good to me.
The faces aren't always, ideal or whatever, but I believe I read Those Left Behind. I don't know, or I don't think I've read Better Days yet, but
Yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous art. That must have been the cover. The covers are usually better than the interior because they really pay more a lot because that gets people to buy them.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're much more up on the comics world than I am, but I like comics. I think they're cool. Just I never got into collecting them much. I mean, I probably had about 50 or 60, and they're probably still in storage and some other graphic novels. But I just don't have. Because I would read them so quickly, I just didn't see the money value in them at the time. But they're now all the really cool omnibuses and Masterworks editions and what's the DC? What is it? DC's Finest? What's the one that you showed that was twice as thick?
Yeah, and they're very cheap. They're $20, and they're soft. They're soft bound. I can get one for you if you want, but maybe not.
Here's Rob. Mrs. L Space collects the Firefly tie-in novels as well. Yeah, I've looked at the tie-in novels, Rob, and I'm curious about them. I might get some Kindle versions eventually. I'm usually not a big person on this. I mean, I guess they're treated as canons basically because there's so little otherwise. But I don't read a lot of non-canonical sort of things. Usually, I'm pretty stuffy purist that way. But I want more of Firefly and the universe, so I'm willing to give them a shot. Tell Mrs. L Space she has good taste. Okay. Yeah, Paul likes Buffy too. Did you like Buffy as well, David? Were you?
Yeah, I really liked it, and I was even watching Angel, and for some stupid reason, I stopped watching it just for time.
Oh, you have to see the last season of Angel. It's great. It's so good. They move to that Wolfram and Hart. They take over. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, there's an episode called Smile Time that you really need to see. It is fantastic.
The puppet one? I've heard about the
puppet one. Yeah, when Spike, I think Puppet Spike for a while is there too, or is it maybe it's only Angel that's puppet. But I remember he tears up a bunch of puppets, and it would be gory if it was real or whatever. It was so funny. I love that episode, even though it's a pretty dark series towards the end. But yeah, so whatever faults Joss Whedon has, and I'm sure if he's guilty of half of what they say he is, he's not a nice guy, but I loved his work for quite a bit. I wasn't so keen on Dollhouse, although it was okay. But yeah, the Angel finale, Rob says, is awesome. Yeah, the way they end that. So you need to get back to that one of these days, David, after all the other stuff you have to get through.
There's so much to watch. I just wanted to piggyback on what you said because one of my favorite sci-fi shows what lasted one season and it was canceled, and that is Stargate Universe. That's
yeah.
favorite. Like, I am not a Stargate huge fan, but that series was phenomenal, and it ended on such a cliffhanger that I was so angry, and I started looking up the scripts. I wanted to know what happened, what they were going to do with it. The character building on that show was so cool.
I started to watch Universe, and I thought the setup was really cool, but I didn't really like the characters myself, I guess. But I didn't give it enough time. I watched the pilot. I did like the original Stargate, though. Deb here is saying she preferred Angel to over Buffy, and I think I do too. These days, I think some of Buffy's, the teeny bopper element is a little cringe, maybe, but the writing is so good, and there's so many good episodes of Buffy, so it's good. But yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, Deb, on that. All right, well, how about you up next there, David? What else do you have?
All right, so I'm going to stay in a sci-fi vein, and okay. I'm going to show the movie Logan's Run. So this is my
yeah.
I keep my Blu-rays, most of them in sleeves like this. So so there's Logan's Run. And
I think I'm getting. Hold on a second. Keep going, but I think I have to. I'm getting a little too much sun blazing in. Sorry.
Don't worry. I'll just show the book while you're off screen. So this is the novel Logan's Run. And
yeah, that's right. William Nolan wrote it, right? William F. Nolan.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see that, but it says they're vintage movie classics. So Vintage Books, which puts out a line of classics, they put out these movie classics. They only did about 5 to 8 of these, and most of them have like a still from the movie as the cover image. It's pretty cool. So I did read this. I loved the movie. And then finally, I'm going to show you that.
Topless Jenny Agutter, you're never going to get a no from me for that. What's this? Oh, this is the...
Yeah. This is a comic book series. So I was trying to read the comments to see what you were talking about.
Oh, no, it's just Paul was talking about the Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which Waden did, with what's his name, Doogie Howser guy. Dang it!
Yeah, and Nathan,
such a good actor, and that was a really great online series.
So this only ran for 7 issues, and I think the first 5 covers the movie, and then the last 2 they go beyond. They even had different.
Oh, cool!
It didn't last very long. So we got the Logan's Run comic book series, 7 issues.
I have Logan's Run as well, a Japanese Blu-ray, but I wish there was a Blu-ray set that had the Charlton Heston Omega Man, Soylent Green, and Logan's Run all together.
Yeah,
and that's a great 70s dystopian sci-fi set right there.
I love all 3 of those.
Me too.
All right, you're Neil Patrick.
Thank you. Rob at L-Space informed us for our senior moment. Neil Patrick Harris was the one who was in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yeah.
And Deb at Omnivorous Reader, Logan's Run movie and book are great. Yeah, I have to check out the book. I haven't read the book. I know William F. Nolan is quite a good writer. I've read some of his horror short stories. I haven't read much of his science fiction. I think he wrote some of that as well. Obviously,
he wrote a series called Micronauts, and they're not related to the comic.
Yeah,
but I need to get.
I used to have one of those. Those are really cool. They had all the illustrations inside, right?
I never had one.
Oh yeah, no, they have illustrations all through there. It's almost as many illustrations as there are text pages. It's like and it's about this group that are shrunk down, right? And they have to contend with giant insects and stuff.
No, it's like the opposite, but I'm sure you've seen that movie. Soylent Green is not vegan.
Yeah, it's definitely not vegan. No, it's the opposite of vegan. So haven't you seen
Don't give it
The
away.
Simpsons? Erico, check out The Simpsons. And Paul also had was telling us about Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, It's the senior moment when you're live, I guess. Okay, well, it's my turn, right?
Yes.
That was a great choice. Great choice. I love Soylent Green's. Sorry, I love Soylent Green too. But Logan's Run's a lot of fun. It's not quite as seriously minded as the other two, but very fun. Okay, next I'm going to go older school. It's from 1963, and it's one of my favorite movies. This is Hatari.
Look at
John
that.
Wayne. This is the Kino Blu-ray. They did a 4K as well. This looked like ass on DVD for years, and then they released a Paramount put out a Blu-ray that also looked still like ass, and then finally Kino got, Paramount did a new 4K from the scan of the original film elements, and it looks fantastic. Do you know this movie, David?
I think I do.
This is
kind of run together, but I think I've seen it.
Well, this is not a Western, which is one of the reasons. I mean, I love Westerns, so I have a lot of John Wayne's Westerns. I have a John Wayne Blu-ray shelf, actually, but this is him leading a group, a team of disparate people of different ethnicities, etc., who are capturing animals for zoos in Africa, in I believe Tanzania or Tanganyika, it was as it was called then. And there's 3 Logan's Run movies, Logan's Run novels. I didn't know that. Did you know that, David?
I think so at some point.
Okay. Well, all I can say is, there's a lot of people that hate John Wayne and what he stood for, although they don't maybe understand him fully. He was a complex guy that, people said he was racist, yet he married 3 Hispanic wives, and he had, there's lots of stories of all the kindnesses he did to the people on his crew. One time where he was filming The Alamo and his Mexican crew were stuck out in the rain watching the sets overnight, and he came out there, roused one of his friends out of bed, and they came out and cooked all of them a big spaghetti meal. And so, he was a complex guy. He wasn't, as the evil villain he's often painted out to be these days, unfortunately. And I think he's a fantastic movie actor. He's one of the best re-actors in the business. But anyway, this is a really fun movie. It's got red buttons. It's got the lovely Italian actress Elsa Martinelli as the main love interest. Hardy Kruger, who loved Africa so much when he was filming this that he moved there. And anyway, it's really fun. If you remember Jurassic Park, The Lost World, the scene where all the Jeeps and trucks are driving amongst the dinosaurs. Again, Lost World is a pretty bad movie, but that scene was Steven Spielberg's direct homage to this movie. He loves Hatari, and I highly recommend it. It looks fantastic on this new Blu-ray.
I like the cover too. Beautiful cover.
Yeah, this is one of, they use the original poster, which is nice. So it's just really fun. And it's probably the most famous these days for the Baby Elephant Walk, Henry Mancini tune on the soundtrack. Henry Mancini does the soundtrack, and it's an amazing soundtrack. If you ever find an LP of that, you should get it. It's really great. But you would probably recognize Baby Elephant Walk. It's dan 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 dan. If you know that one. Anyway, it was very catchy and a big hit. I'm not going to sing it to you because I'm awful at singing, and you just had a good concert, so I don't want to ruin the flavor for that. But so I'm a diehard John Wayne fan. He's one of my favorite actors, and I think the guy had the stuff. So let's move on to you.
About a year ago, I watched Quiet Man, and I was blown away. It was
that's great.
Movie. Even I love the spanking scene.
The what?
The spanking scene.
Well, that's hard to watch these days for some people probably, but it's really funny, right? So, and that's just a beautifully shot movie by John Ford. Yeah, this is Howard Hawks, by the way. This is a Howard Hawks movie, and Howard Hawks hardly ever made a bad movie in his life. So,
okay, so what am I doing next? Okay, so I've got a big one.
Oh, sorry. One more thing. I'm sorry. I neglected one last thing. I'll just be real quick. Sorry, David. But since you kind of moving on to the book theme, this is one of 2 bios I have of John Wayne. So this is John Wayne American, which maybe isn't a great title these days, but there's another one by Scott Eyman, which is also really good. So
that's quite the man too, especially when he was a little younger. He was.
Before he got older, when he was young, he was a really good looking guy. And apparently he was massively big man. people said his hands were like the size of hams, you know. So
Sounds nice to me.
well, you know what they say about guys with big hands, anyway.
So, I really took a cop out. So I'm going to talk about Star Wars. I've got
oh, Star Wars. Oh, little scene Star Wars, David.
Star Wars. I've got a puzzle. I'm telling you, I was like going to the bottom of the barrel trying to get this.
Well, I'm sorry. I kind of gave you very little notice, so you didn't have time to dig through your shelves in your closet, etc.
I actually have two different versions of Star Wars on VHS, and I particularly like this because it has the original art. You know, it's not.
Well, that's probably the original movies too, before Lucas messed around with them.
Stirred them up, and then when you take them, I think this is the version where you take them out. Each one has, you know, this.
Nice. The poster.
Photos. Yeah. And let me see.
Those great. Was it Drew Struzan or did those posters? I can't remember who the artist was.
No, I'm just. If I hold these wrong, they fall out of the cases, right? Because they.
Sorry, I was trying to get a little more breeze in here.
Look at that. Is that gorgeous or what?
Yes.
So I showed you the puzzle because I'm a puzzler, and then I showed you the VHS, and so recently. I really liked this book. I had this as a kid and I didn't read it. I was just.
Is that the Splinter in the Mind's Eye?
Yeah. So this is like a sequel.
That's a good book.
It's very good, and I always loved that image as a kid. I would just like stare at that, and so I don't know why. One of the books that I wanted to get in hardcover for my collection.
Fighting words, Erico. Best Star Wars film is the Star Wars Holiday Special. He is right. Oh, eat those words, please. Okay. Sorry, David. Continue.
Last thing. Of course, there were comics made of Star Wars. Many.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't there a Marvel run? There was a Marvel comic, right?
Yeah, this is the Marvel one. I think it went for 100 and some issues. I have them in Epic. I never really collected Star Wars, but this was a gift, I think, from Mr. E. I just love that cover. I mean, I think the angle of that, it's just a really cool cover. So there you go.
It's so small on my screen, David. I'm going to have to catch most of this on replay to enjoy everything. That's okay. As long as the viewers at home can see it, that's fine.
There you go.
So I think Paul from Geeks Love Dogs I'm guessing he said he reread Splinter in the Mind's Eye last year. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I loved it so much. And then I went on to the Han Solo series. And I still
the Han Solo series is really good.
It really is. And then I bought those hardcovers too because I liked them so much.
I think I have one over here somewhere, but I have the rest at home. Oops, sorry, I keep bumping this stupid computer here. Let's see, we got something from Rob. Speaking of the importance of physical media, we've got the original version before Lucas messed with it. Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm waiting one day, maybe before he croaks or something, or maybe because I don't know if he still retains. I know he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, but you think one of these days they would get a Blu-ray set of the originals out, and when they do, that's when I'll buy it. I haven't bought the original trilogy in Blu-ray now because it's the messed with Greedo shot first crap. So
in the bootleg market, there's a lot of videos about, like, YouTube videos about this,
right?
And one of the reasons people say that they want to still buy bootlegs because the studios won't put these things out that the fans want. And that's,
I think the bootleg for the original Star Wars trilogy is from the Laserdisc, probably, right?
Most likely.
Which wouldn't be or maybe some TV airings that were HD old TV airings. I don't know. It wouldn't be as like it could be now. Well, it's similar with James Cameron, right? He took forever because he's working on his stupid Avatar movies. No offense to those who like the Avatar sequels, but he just last year put out they were waiting for his color approval and he changed the tint and stuff, but they re-released on Blu-ray and 4K Aliens and the Terminator 2, and then they also finally put out on Blu-ray Come
Abyss.
on now. The Abyss, thank you, and True Lies. The Abyss and
Oh.
True Lies. And the Abyss was sold out like that. And I could now it's going for like 50, $60 or something. So I missed my chance to get the Abyss. I need to get that one. But that's like 20 years later. It should or whatever how long what is it since 2009 since Blu-ray came out. So I guess 16 years. It took a long time to get some of that stuff out.
Avatar's pretty good.
The thing was when I just thought it was overrated.
Not horrible.
No, it's definitely not horrible. But when I watched the first one in the theater, it was fun. But I just kept thinking, this is Dances with Wolves on an alien planet.
Yeah,
right?
It's bloated for sure.
The sequels are probably pretty cool. I haven't, there's lots of cool stuff in there.
I mean, that's also bloated, and it's excessive, but it was still a good movie.
There's the third one coming pretty soon, I think, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to get too excited about, probably. Well, if you're done there, I don't mean to cut you off. I'll move to my next one. And since I know you lived in Japan, you might appreciate this. And this one, I think, should be fairly little known. This is the Daimajin trilogy.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, Daimajin is this is like a kaiju movie, kind of a kaiju ega, but the kaiju is this stone god. So what these are, basically, they're very interesting. And this is, I believe, there's probably a fancier set, maybe a Criterion set even came out, or somebody, maybe Shout Factory or someone put it out. This is a cheaper Mill Creek set, but they look really nice. Essentially, they are kind of samurai, like historical period samurai movies. There's usually some younger teenager or kids who are being oppressed. There's a town, the village being oppressed by some really nasty kind of gangster or yakuza samurai guys, and they're trying to kill or kidnap these princes or princesses in the little village or town. And someone supplicates to the stone god, the Maijin, this god up in the mountains. And eventually, at the very end of the movie, after the bad guys have killed a lot of people and done a lot of bad things, Majin comes to life, and it's a guy in a suit, but it's really well done. And he goes down the mountain and just toasts all the bad guys. He stomps on them with his big feet and takes a giant spike and spikes one guy to the castle wall and stuff. So one of them's filmed in the winter with snow. So it's like a beautifully, how 60s era Japanese movies and 70s era, they're really beautifully framed and all that. So it's like you're watching a regular samurai movie when all of a sudden at the end you get a giant kaiju guy coming in and stomping on people, and it's quite effective. So I know it sounds crazy, but they're good movies. They're pretty cool. So, yeah, I definitely recommend those. So that's the Daimajin trilogy. And there's Daimajin, Return of Daimajin, and Daimajin Strikes Again.
Dang,
and this is
for those.
I don't have a picture of what he should look like when he's but basically it's a guy with a mask stomping around, but the effects and the scale is really well done because he's kind of done it like a 40 or 50 foot scale. And Paul was talking about of the Daimajin movies, Kaiju Geek 2, and Deb said some things about Avatar. I'm thinking it was basically a Fern Gully. That was the other one that a lot of people equated it with. Fern Gully for the kind of let's save the environment movie mixed with Dances with Wolves. Yeah, I'd say that'd be pretty accurate. But anyway, that was mine. I don't have any books about Daimajin or anything, so I do have a friend here who is a kind of scholar about Japanese movies and stuff, and he might have covered them in one of it. I think he has a book called Monsters Are Attacking Tokyo. Stuart Galbraith IV is his name. But anyway, you're up, sir. What else do you have?
Great. Can you remove that gigantic comment?
I can.
Screen. All right.
Sorry, I can't see it from here. But thank you for commenting, Paul, Deb, for sure. But great comment. But okay.
So the last time I think I was talking with you, I messed something up so bad that I had to retribute myself. What's that? I had to retribute. What is it? I can't even
recuse yourself. You have to do penitence. What do you have to do?
Myself. So I was talking, I think, about the movie Stalker, and it was because of the novel that it's coming from. So this is a Tarkovsky movie. Now, the first time I watched this movie, I was watching it on HBO, and I was totally drunk. And I was texting my friend, and I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's probably better if you don't watch it while you're drunk." And so,
yes,
I actually,
it's hard enough to follow when you're sober. So,
yeah. So I did I used to have a monthly program where I would do 4 different things, and then it was kind of like homework, and then people could join in the discussion. You can best believe that wasn't very popular. But one time I did this movie, and so I watched it with care, and this movie is really, really, really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is a striking looking film for sure.
Yeah. But it was based on this novel, Roadside Picnic, and I couldn't remember this. And because I was I talked about something.
So the movie is Andrei Tarkovsky, but the book is the Strugatsky brothers. Who?
Yes, Strugatsky, Arkady and the idea behind this is that aliens visit Earth, and it's just like a stop for them. And they leave trash behind, like it's a picnic stop, and they leave trash. But for us, it's something that we try to understand their the culture or whatever. Just try to understand what aliens are through the things that they leave behind. And it's a really, really interesting idea. I don't, maybe it's a translation or what. The book is okay. It's not amazing, but I'm glad I read it. But the real successor of this is Annihilation, because this is what I started with when we were talking about the books.
Right. The Vandermeer trilogy thing, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this takes this idea and just runs with it and does it right. And so that was that.
But if you were talking about the Tarkovsky movie and the Evolution, or sorry, is it Annihilation movie? Which one do you prefer of the movies?
Oh, the movies? Well, this is a masterpiece, right?
Right.
But you really have to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, it's not it's slow, like a lot of Russian films. It's slow and ponderous and beautifully put together, but you need some time for sure.
And a lot of the people working on this got cancer. And every time I watch the scene where they're rolling around in that muck, I'm thinking, you're getting cancer. Stop. So, I mean,
why was it near? They were a nuclear test site or something, or atomic bomb test site?
They were actually in a contaminated area. And so when they're actually going in, like half the movie, they're in the zone, right? Because that's where the aliens are. They're actually like in an irradiated zone. And it's like I learned all of that from all the commentary and everything that's on, that comes with this. And
well, it's funny you mentioned that, because speaking of John Wayne, he filmed where he played Genghis Khan. He was badly miscast, but it's called The Conqueror, and they filmed that at Los Alamos. And Susan Hayward and the actor-director Dick Powell. And there's 2 documentaries they think came out last year. One's on Netflix or one's on Amazon Prime, talking about this. They killed John Wayne or something. Almost everyone in that movie, or at least a large percentage of them, died of cancer. And because they took a bunch of this radioactive sand back to the studio to film studio scenes, and they were trapped in studio with all this radioactive sand and stuff. So I did not know that about Stalker, though. That's interesting. Did you know this? What Paul had said, that there's video games and board games. I think he's talking about that they're related to Stalker or Roadside Picnic. Is that what you're talking about, Paul? Were you aware of those, David? Were there any?
Maybe he's talking about Daimogen. That sounds likely.
I hope it's. I don't think he'd be talking about Avatar. I think he might be talking about Stalker, but I don't see how there'd be board games based on that. But well, he would know. So Paul, clear us up on that, because we don't know what we're talking about there. But that's a very interesting movie. I started it years ago, and I have to confess, hand in my art house card that I didn't finish it. So
it's difficult for many people. It's really a difficult movie. You really do have to be in the right mindset. The Annihilation movie, I actually think is really, really good. Although I told you, I think that when I first saw it in the theater, I was a little bit let down because I wanted it to be like the novel, but it's its own thing. And I rewatched it, I'm gonna just enjoy it for what it is. And I like the movie Annihilation. No, they have a game about.
Yeah, Paul was talking about Stalker. It sounds like, yeah, and it looks like interesting. And I know Deb at Omnivorous Reader just recorded. She read Picnic at Hanging Rock with the book with Chris at Liminal Spaces and did a conversation. And she's mentioning, but she's talking about Roadside Picnic. Sorry, I'm getting those confused. The game apparently took things from Picnic and put them into Russian as slang. Zones RPG. Okay. Well, I'm not a big role-playing gamer. I'm not up on that very well, unfortunately. I don't know about you, David. You have many, many interests. I'm not sure if it extends to role-playing.
I just don't have one to play with. I would play games if I had people to play with.
Yeah, that must be a tough thing to maybe put a call out on some local Craigslist or something. Who knows? Anyway, it's not like you don't have other things going on already. But
yeah.
Well, any more you want to say about Stalker? That sounds really interesting. I need to give that another chance. Okay, well, I feel like I'm rushing you. I don't want to rush you. I'm just trying to manage the stream. Luckily, there's not too many people, so it's not driving me. Doing okay. Thank you for the support, and also thank you very much for those of you who are watching. Really appreciate that. So, Deb, Roadside Picnic contributed the word stalker to the Russian language by introducing it as the name for the individuals who illegally enter the dangerous zone, allegedly. Interesting. And Paul says stalker with, I guess, maybe as an abbreviation or as an acronym, was a video game and a popular one.
Interesting.
News to me. Thank you, guys. Okay, my next one is, I think, going to be pretty little known. And I don't know if you remember George Peppard from the A-Team, David, but he had quite a movie career for a while, including Breakfast at Tiffany's and The Blue Max. And this is one of my favorites of his movies called PJ. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
This is a really excellent private detective movie. And it's set in, I believe, it's in New York mostly, but it also has detour down to, I believe, if not Jamaica, it's the Virgin Islands or somewhere down in a probably made up place, but as that movies often do. But this is very good and very tough. It's got Raymond Burr playing a real SOB, which he could do very well. There's a little glare on there. Sorry, there we go. PJ, so it's cool. Again, Kino Lorber putting a cool poster on it. This is really cool. George Peppard was, a good solid actor. He had a run there in the late 60s, early 70s of quite a few cool films, and this is one of the best. There's another one called House of Cards, where he's a bodyguard entrusted to watch a young boy, and Orson Welles is the bad guy in that. And that one is only out on Blu-ray from Via Vision imprint in Australia, and it's really expensive, but I'm going to get it one of these days but anyway, Kino put out several of these George Peppard flicks, and I really recommend this one. You might find this interesting, David. I don't know, but maybe offensive. I don't know at the time, but PJ winds up in a New York gay bar here in the 60s, and the guys have been hired to beat him up. And there's like a 10-minute fight scene where he's taking on like 15 guys. He gets the worst of it, but he just dishes it out as well. It's quite interesting at the time to see that depicted. But anyway, Gail Honeycutt is the femme fatale in it. It's a very good private eye flick and well worth watching. In the 60s, they did some good kind of neo-noir private eye movies. There was Marlowe with James Garner playing Philip Marlowe, and then there was, of course, in the 70s, Elliot Gould played him in The Long Goodbye, and there's a really good one with Art Carney, of all things, called The Late Show, with a young Lily Tomlin, where he's a tough old PI in California and LA. Anyway, Los Angeles always seems the best place for a private detective series or movie, for sure.
They got all the the film studios here, so it makes sense.
Does make sense. Anyway, next, sir, what would you like to introduce?
Now I'm just doing random because
okay, that's fine. I got quite a bit more that I'll show later.
I
but
have 3 or 4 more rounds, so we're fine.
Excellent, good.
But everything from here on is comics, so I grabbed a bunch of comics that I got.
That's cool. Bring them on.
I have these Classics Illustrated. These were a series of
nice.
comic books that did books in comic book form, and this one is Arthur Conan Doyle comic, Classic Illustrated, and this one is a Sir Walter Scott, I think, and it's called
is it Ivanhoe or is it?
It's not that one. It's the the Talisman. I haven't. Sir
Walter the Talisman. Okay.
Yeah, and so here's the cover of it. And
did you have to rip your Mylar off? Oh my God!
No, these are new. So I just
okay.
And so they still have the original packaging. So I haven't read these yet. I just got them, and they need to come out of these bags and go.
You got them out of your. You didn't include those in your last massive haul video you did, so it must have come after the fact.
I bought.
Your husband must be.
Exactly. I overspent this month, and I bought so much that I'm actually embarrassed to show it. So, along with those old classics, like those are 15-cent comics. Marvel Comics actually put out a series of classic comics, and much later. So these are 50-cent ones. They're here, and they have cool art. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 20,000 Under the Sea, The Red Badge of Courage. I mean, look at this, the cool art on these things. Ivanhoe, Robinson Crusoe. I'm reading these backwards. Look at that. That's so cool.
Wow, cool.
What does that one say? Master of the World. This one is
the Jules Verne one, right?
Yeah, look at that one. Look at him. And this is The First Man on the Moon, also by Verne.
It's H.G. Wells. Sorry. Oh no, you're right. First Man on the Moon is H.G. Wells, and From the Earth to the Moon is Verne. So it's easy to get those confused. Is that First Man or From the Earth to?
First Man.
Okay, on the Moon. So that'd be H.G. Wells then, but him and Verne are kissing cousins, really. Yeah, cool.
Verne on it.
Really? That's weird. Well, okay.
First, I'll open it up to make sure.
Oh, that's all right. No, that's fine.
First,
I didn't mean to be pedantic there.
First Men in the Moon. First Men in the Moon.
Yeah, that sounds like Wells' title, but it says Verne on the cover. Okay, cool. Well, those are very cool, though. I like when you show old comics on your channel. You do all those, Donald Duck ones and those Gold Key comics.
Yeah, I have some more to show in other rounds, but that was my round.
So those are those reprints? Because they look in really good condition. Those are used?
No, these are from the time that they came out, so 50 cents. These actually Classics Illustrated had multiple reprints. So when you buy them, you're never sure if you're actually getting them as a
Goat Man.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, wow, because I know you talked about several reprints in your last video there. So
those are more like modern reprints, right? But these were just like they put them out at the time. I guess they sold out, and so they would make another batch, and that's basically.
Oh, I see. So like doing another run. So are those then 70s or 80s era? What era would they be?
I would say are 60s because they were
60s.
This one says
15 cents. Okay.
This one says 1953 on it.
Wow.
And this one is from 1952. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they could have been reprinted in the 60s, or it'd be interesting to see the copyright in those. But if they are almost 70 plus years old, then awesome. They look in good shape.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yep. Yeah, anyone who likes Goat Man, if you like cool comic art and covers, you should check out David's channel, Garage Geek. It's got he's showing he's got tons of videos in the past going through comics, and all your Mylar or prophylactic, as you called it in the past, at once putting all the plastic on your covers. But they really do look Much better when you put those
So
on.
much nicer in the Mylar. As old as my dad, yeah.
As old as my dad.
That's
Yeah. Goat Man. 1950.
Disturbing image.
Hey, now we're getting close to that. You know, both David and I are, you know, I'm going to be 58 next weekend. So if I do a stream next weekend, which I might do, a birthday bash stream, and invite some people to join like you do sometimes when you'd have just anyone show up, you know, but
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. We'll do it at a much earlier time though, I think, if we do that.
Yeah. It's my fault.
No, you're fine. No, I'm happy to have you join me as late as it was for you, because a lot of people would have been tired out after the concert or not want to hop on here. So thanks for doing that. My next one is The Yakuza. This is a Sidney Pollack movie. Sidney Pollack directed, Jeremiah Johnson and Tootsie, among others. But this is my favorite Sidney Pollack movie, although I love Jeremiah Johnson. This is The Yakuza, starring Robert Mitchum and Takakura Ken Takakura. Mm-hmm. And Richard Jordan is in this, and Herb Edelman. This is fantastic. Almost completely filmed in Tokyo and Kyoto, I believe. I think there's a little bit in Osaka. Basically, Robert Mitchum is older here, but he's still tough as can be. He's reportedly one of the three toughest actors in Hollywood as far as physically tough. People would always try to pick fights with him, and they would regret it afterwards. But he was a very laconic, laid-back dude. And he plays, I guess he used to, have you seen this movie, David?
I may have as a kid. I definitely don't remember anything about it.
It's excellent. It's you know, it's not super fast paced, but it has a lot of action when it comes. It's brutal. He's basically, so Brian Keith is in it. If you guys remember Brian Keith from The Parent Trap, original Disney one, and he was also in Family Affair, the TV series. Anyhow, Brian Keith plays a former World War II Army buddy of Robert Mitchum's character. And Robert Mitchum had been stationed in Tokyo right after World War II, and he had fallen in love with a woman named Keiko, who had a little daughter, and things were going well. They were living with him there in Japan, and then who she says is her brother, Takakura Ken, comes home from the war, having been hiding out in a cave somewhere, like sometimes happen, and she broke off things with Harry. Harry Kilmer is the Robert Mitchum character, and he goes back to America, still pining for her. Anyway, he's brought back to Japan for this case of Brian Keith's, this tycoon's daughter being kidnapped by the Yakuza, and he has to get in touch with Takakura Ken to assist him in this endeavor. And it's a really good thriller, beautifully filmed and on location in Japan. Highly recommend it. And I also highly, highly recommend this biography of Robert Mitchum, Baby, I Don't Care. How's that for a title? That is, it's a fascinating read. He was a fascinating guy, you know, cooler than cool. There's some really hilarious stories in here. Many of them that aren't fit for a family podcast or vlog, I guess, but not that I drop some bad language here and there, but some very, very, very funny ones. And he was quite a guy. So this is by Lee Server, who also wrote a really good biography of Ava Gardner and some other books. He's an excellent writer. And I'm, you know, from some of my favorite actors and directors and classic Hollywood types, I do like to read the occasional biography about them. So Rob's intrigued by the comic attributes the H.G. Wells novel to Verne. Yeah. Did they get the wrong title on it?
While you were talking, I showed it. So
you did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the interior does say H.G. Wells, but the cover says Verne. That's a huge mistake.
Yeah. And it also might make it worth something, like Rob is saying there, right? Yeah.
Could be.
All right. Well, anyway, that's my Robert Mitchum plug there. So how about yourself there, good sir? Let me move you over. I'm
going to show two Superboy comics that I recently got. So the first one I'm going to show because it's just bonkers, but I love how it's shown. Like, I love the perspective of this. First of all, it's horrible. They're holding him prisoner, and they're gonna like, you better give us what we want, or we're gonna pump him full of kryptonite. But
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I thought you meant the art was horrible. You mean the situation is horrible, right?
But look at the framing of this. You've got the people. It's just a beautiful cover. I mean, look at that. And then I have this one, which is totally silly. Now you go from super serious and then you go to silly. So here's the Superboy issue where there's like a young girl flying on a bed of springs, and Superboy calls her a name even. Oh no, now that super brained little kook built herself a scrap iron flying carpet. But as silly as this is, what intrigues me is look at the bottom. It's an actual photo. It's of a town. Like, I don't know if the guy was like too lazy to actually draw it.
Oh, wow, that's rare to see that.
And then it does say Smallville Pharmacy here. Which is
there an actual Smallville somewhere in the U.S. or did they just is that part actual art?
But look at the cars. There's like it's just
wow,
that is cool. I just like that.
And are they are these new arrivals too, or have you read these, David?
I haven't read them yet. They're new arrivals.
Oh boy, adding more to the pile. This is for next Friday night chats. Confessions of overspending.
Oh.
Well, you know, we only go around once, David. So what the hell?
Yeah, can't regret it now. I don't know. I've got this much more, but I don't need to show them all tonight. It's up to you.
That's fine. We're okay if you're okay for a little longer. I don't want to keep you up too late, but yeah, Goatman. Maybe that's sponsored by a bed spring company.
The silliest thing ever.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you always have the most interesting comics there, and I like how you like older comics. Okay, I'll have a few more. Let me show another TV one, and this one I think is definitely not well known. This is Classic Flicks put this out, a smaller boutique label. This is World of Giants. This is
awesome.
It is awesome, actually. It's surprisingly good. The effects are really good. This is the actor Marshall Thompson, and there's another actor called Arthur Franz, both those guys would be familiar to monster kids who like watching 50s and 60s monster movies. Marshall Thompson was in The Fiend Without a Face, I think, which is the giant vampire brains that are attacking people. And then Arthur Franz was in Monster on the Campus and several other movies. Anyway, this is really cool. It was short run and only lasted for 13 episodes, but they're really well done. And there's a guy named David who runs this Classic Flicks boutique label there in LA, and he has been putting out some TV shows on DVD and Blu-ray that are kind of fallen into public domain or whatever. And this was a Ziv television show, which means it was sold into syndication. Ziv did Sea Hunt and a bunch of Tombstone Territory, a bunch of other really good shows. And this is really cool. Basically, he's a secret agent, and he had gone through some kind of radioactive cloud or some accident. They don't show the accident in the series, but in the first episode, they kind of give his backstory. And it shrunk this guy to 6 inches tall. And his partner Bill is still normal size. And they make this like little suitcase that his bigger partner, his full-size partner, can carry around, and it's got like a little seat in it, and he goes out on missions with him, and he ends up sometimes being stranded. There's one where there's a car accident, and his buddy is taken away to the hospital, and he's the hero guy here, the shrunken guy, is stuck in this kind of garden area, and there's a couple of gardeners, and there's a cat chasing after him and stuff. The effects are really good. So that's a very fun one, worth checking down. World of Giants, the complete series from Classic Flicks.
Yeah, I'm going to look that one up. All right.
There's no book tying in that or anything, but it's very cool.
I think we're off the rails now.
I think we are, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to show a couple of the classic comics. So the first one I'm going to show is I have this Mickey and Donald. And I like this one because it's one of these recursive things where as you look, like they're they're looking at the cover, and they're on the cover, and then they're on the cover, and then they're on.
Oh,
You know
cool.
what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
refresh.
yeah.
But there's a problem because in this original it's red and yellow, but in this one it's yellow and red, and I don't know. Maybe they did that.
Oh, so they kind of messed up the illusion a little.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that is such a cool cover. And the next one is they revamped the many of the comics in the 90s. And so this is Donald Duck, but it's called Donald Duck Adventures, and it's #1. But look at that gorgeous art. It's probably Karl Barks or something like that. But look at how cool that is. So I'm really happy. I just got this one. I have more in this series, but I didn't have.
You have quite a few, don't you? But I don't know if you have that many of you haven't shown that many of the Uncle Scrooge ones, but you have a whole bunch of the Donald Duck ones. Is it Karl Barks? Is that his name? The artist?
Most likely.
Karl Barks, Karl Banks. I can never remember his name, but they have these omnibus editions that are still available, most of them, and I need to pick up some of those. I never read them as a kid, but they look really cool now.
And then this final one is really beat up, but holiday issues of older comics go for more, like they're more popular. So this is a Halloween one, and you can tell it's stained. This one is from 1962, but I'm happy to have it nonetheless. But yeah, you can see that it's pretty beat up. Like over here, it's got. But I don't mind. I'm happy to have something that's so old, right? For just $1.
Well, you're showing you're getting some artifact from the past that you're, preserving. Very cool. I want to just get a couple comments. We got a comment from Rob about the World of Giants here, where you've done it, Jeff, a vintage science fiction show I've never heard of. That doesn't happen often. I'm guessing if you should check out Elspace Archives, David, if you get a chance. He's got a really cool channel. His intro video was awesome. He has his whole office with all these great. His wife's really talented at making like miniatures and puppets and things, and she's made all. He has so many cool things you'll recognize in his room.
I absolutely will tomorrow.
And Eriko Spooky Ghost Burr. Okay, must be talking about your Halloween issue. That's cool. You have I know some of the I think some of the you had those old science fiction digest pulps that you showed off a while back that had some Christmas issues, didn't they? A couple of them that had some.
They might. I need to pull them out. Like I have so many of them. I've got about 100 of those things. I need to start reading them.
All right, you still okay to go for a little longer? I don't want to keep you too late.
Two more sets.
Okay.
I don't know about you. How many do you have?
I've got some things that I can, but we don't have to show them all today. So there you go. Well, let me. That's a good idea, actually. Well, let me show.
No, it's your turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think you just did the comics, right? So,
yeah.
Have you seen this one, folks, with Roger Moore?
No.
Now, Roger Moore, when he was James Bond, of course, he would. Between making Bond movies every couple years, he would make another movie or two. One of my favorites is a movie called The Wild Geese about some mercenaries that go to rescue a president in somewhere in an African country that had Richard Harris and Richard Burton as well as Roger Moore. But Roger Moore headlines this one, and this is one of his best performances, I think, because it's very different from the usual Roger Moore, the smooth, he played the Saint on TV and, of course, Dapper Bond, etc. This is Folks. That's his name. Anthony Perkins from Psycho and Michael Parks play some couple of terrorists. They take over, and their team take over 3, and this is based off a book too, but I don't have the book, by a British writer. They take over 3 oil derricks, and they're holding them hostage to the British government. And so they call in this kind of anti-terrorist task force guy named what is his full name? I forgot. Anyway, he has some kind of funny name that ends with Folks with the 2 F's. Anyway, probably supposed to be Welsh or something, and he doesn't try a Welsh accent. But he does. He has a big, different change of pace role for him. He plays a woman-hating, cat-loving, whiskey-swilling I think maybe he is supposed to be Scots or something. So he's very, and of course he's very persnickety, and he has his ways of doing things. And he and his team do like a scuba attack, kind of assault on this oil derrick that's and this. Is it only the oil derrick or a boat? Anyway, it's they take out the bad guys at the end. It's a lot of fun. And Goatman asks about Roger's other movies being action oriented or orientated, and yes, they almost always were. And they, yeah, this is really fun. It's got James Mason, and it's got, I think David Hedison from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea is in it. It's a really fun movie. I think it was 1980, 1981. I remember seeing this on TV back in the day. And really enjoying it. And yes, I'm a big fan of The Saint. Roger Moore is The Saint. That was my entry drug when I was a young lad into British television, and I love British television. And ITC, who made The Saint. And he's not my favorite James Bond. I'm partial to Sean Connery, and also George Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service is my favorite Bond movie. But I do like Roger Moore's Bond, and I like those movies for the most part, especially when they're not too goofy. They get a little goofy later, like Octopussy and the View to a Kill. But are you a Bond fan, a Saint fan? Have you a Roger Moore fan? Any of those, David?
I like them all. I'm not like an uber fan. I really do like the current incarnation of Bond. I'm forgetting his name, but
Daniel Craig.
He's so good, and those movies are just good movies. But of course, I grew up on the silly Bonds, right? I grew up with
the Moore Bonds, yeah,
and all that stuff was in the theater when I was young. And
you're lucky you got to see that. I think the earliest I saw was The Living Daylights in the theater, and no, I think I might have seen. No, I don't think I did see For Our Eyes Only. I think it was the Octopussy was the first I saw in the theater. And I cringed when they played the Beach Boys Surfing USA when he was snowboarding around. I was like, oh no. But I do love Moonraker, though. I think Moonraker is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but Sean Connery is definitely the sexiest one.
Well, yeah, he looks. That's why Daniel Craig is so good, because I always say
Daniel Craig, man, when he's coming out of the surf, I was just like, damn, he looked good in that movie.
Well, also, just they both are so damn tough, right? Because when you see Connery, he looks like he's as soon kill you as he would, talk to you. And I love that scene. And I don't really like Quantum of Solace that much. I like the other ones pretty well. But there's a scene where he beats up a guy, Craig's Bond. He puts him in the closet at this place, and he breaks off the metal handle of the door. I'm like, yeah. I have to disagree with the Goatman, though. I'm sorry. I'm not a huge. I like Pierce Brosnan. He seems like a really nice fella, but he's not my favorite Bond. Although I do like GoldenEye a lot, his first one.
Good.
Yeah, Moonraker's his favorite. Well, yeah, what Moonraker is very Jaws happy ending where he gets his romance. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you're next. If you got a couple more.
I do. I got 2 more sets. So some random comics that I bought recently.
Hold on, let me get you on the screen. There we go.
I have no idea what this comic is. I haven't opened it up. But it's an homage.
You ordered it and you don't know what it is.
Because I bought it for the cover. It's this painted cover, which is an homage to Apocalypse Now. And it says Clint, the hamster triumphant. Who knows what this is? I mean, look at that gorgeous cover.
What the heck? Come on. That's funny.
And I mean, it's got all these like little details. Even up here, it says Eclipse Comics Presents, and it looks like the movie poster.
Well, I can't say anything because I know a lot of us paperback guys, including yourself, buy for the covers too quite often.
I do that all the time. I bought 2 older Charlton. These are goofy, but I mean, why not? I mean,
now, David, can you give a little background on Charlton? I know your friend
Donald Rex.
Donald Rex is the expert, but you know a lot about it too. So I wasn't familiar with Charlton so much, other than did they do the Casper comics?
They could have. They had a lot of licensed comics. So there was Dell and Gold Key. I'm familiar
with those guys a lot.
They did a lot. I think Casper was Harvard Harvey Comics.
Well, it was Harvey Toons, I know that, but I wasn't sure who did the comics of it. So tell me about Charlton then. I know Charlton did some horror comics as well, you said, right?
Yeah, so basically this is where artists went to die. It's like it was their last legs. But you know,
like
what?
A Poverty Row comics line or
yes.
something.
They didn't pay much, but I've actually been reading a lot of them, and they're actually way better than I expected. The art is fun. It's quirky. I mean, like, look at this. There's a toddler riding a giant green bird in space with a superhero flying around. This makes no sense. Totally bonkers. But
well, if you have these old pro artists and writers who are in their last legs but happy for work, I bet you they are putting out pretty good product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the next
hamsters notwithstanding, yeah. Deb says she'd read that comic just for the cover, or she'd buy it just for the cover, like you. So,
and then look at this one. Is like, this must be Steve Ditko, but yeah, it does. It says Steve Ditko right there. I mean,
Steve Ditko worked for Charlton. Wow.
Oh gosh, he put out a lot of Charlton comics, a lot of the horror. And I mean, there's somebody there's these like monkey things getting ready to attack a woman, and a guy coming to her defense with like blobs floating around. Look at that background. He's got like leaves in his hair. Who knows what's going on? Fun stuff. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand,
you're making me jealous. I don't have more comics, man. I'm gonna have to buy some more for my Kindle. I've got a Kindle 10-incher.
Oh,
but I couldn't find those individual issues so easily. That's cool. I have to look through the dollar bins.
I'm a sucker for giant spiders, so I don't collect a lot of modern comics, but I like giant spiders. So
what is this comic? I can't read it very well because of my screen.
It's a modern incarnation of Conan.
Oh, yeah. How are the new Conans? Because I've heard mixed. I know Steve Donahue and Michael K. Vaughan were not fans of some of the year or so ago. Was it Titan Conan? So I don't know who's doing Conan.
Those are actually getting really, really good reviews.
I have heard that they're turning around. So,
and I read the Marvel one, Esad Ribic. I thought that run was great. And then
what about the Savage Sword? Do you have any of the Savage Sword?
I do have some of those, and I haven't read them all. But the ones I read were nice because it's really great having that black and white art in.
It's they're very evocative. I think some of those were put out in some omnibus editions too. Or was that just the Marvel Conan, not because I thought Marvel also put out Savage Sword, didn't they, or was that a different company? I might be confused.
So they've been the problem with or maybe it's a good thing. So many companies get the license, it bounces around, and so when Marvel had it, they put out their omnibus, the omnibus editions. But then when they lost the license, I think Dark Horse or whatever company had it.
I think Dark Horse had it for a while, right?
And so, I mean,
and then it went to Titan, and Titan's the one that was kind of. I know Michael K. Vaughan showed one that had a pretty, I have to at risk of sounding politically incorrect, a girly man Conan, pretty much there. That was not did not make people happy. So
he's probably being disingenuous because there's a lot of. So here's the problem with a lot of modern comics. Even those magazines, they have A, B, C, and D covers, and so the cover, he picked one that I don't know. There are other versions of that Savage Sword, and I bet that had a better cover. So,
well, this wasn't the cover. This was interior art. Michael K. Vaughan showed a whole bunch of it, and he just looked like a kind of young hipster teen Conan. He had almost no muscle. It was very much trying to make a modern take on it. I think modern as of maybe
the original
10 years ago.
The original lauded run of Conan by I think Barry Windsor Smith. That's what he looks like. He doesn't have much muscle, and he looks very skinny and young.
Yeah, I think especially when he was in like Tower of the Elephant, he was supposed to be a kind of slender lad, right? Yeah, he's not all Frazetta muscle. Our image of Conan is probably different from Howard's, right? He does say he's got big muscles, but I'm sure Frazetta took it to the nth degree. But gotta love Frazetta anyway.
Yeah. So the last thing I'm going to show is I made a mistake. So I thought this was a Treasury edition, and I bid way up. And when I got it, the Treasury editions are these giant editions of comics.
Right, they're the ones that are like, massive, like a movie poster size.
And it came in the mail.
Oh no!
But I'm actually glad to have it. I mean, it's really cool, but it's like, I was like, huh.
So they put out the Treasury edition and they put out a regular size edition.
Yeah, and I
but you paid Treasury edition prices?
I think I did.
Oh no! Oh no!
Like, oops! All right, so now it's over to you.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I have seen some other booktubers showing off some of those Treasury editions, and they look pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's see. I got a couple of things I can show here. This is a very unusual Steve McQueen movie. I'm a fan of Steve McQueen, and this is Junior Bonner. This is a Sam Peckinpah movie, and this is also Sam Peckinpah's known for his violence in his movies, like The Wild Bunch, but this is a pretty gentle movie. There's no killing in it whatsoever.
Wow.
So, and Steve McQueen is, he's always good on doing his own stunts and things. He loved nothing more than to take off with the stunt crew and ride motorbikes around and stuff. And he plays a bronc buster on the rodeo circuit, footloose and fancy free, who comes back to his hometown and is for a rodeo. And he's very upset that his brother is selling the family land, to build like some condominiums or whatever. His brother's played by Joe Don Baker, and it's almost documentary, kind of not documentary, but I guess like a docudrama in parts, because they're filming a real rodeo there, and interspersed with this family, kind of lighthearted family. And his dad is played by Robert Preston, who, if you remember The Last Starfighter, Robert Preston was the alien that recruits Lance. What is the kid's name? I forgot the actor who plays the young kid in Last Starfighter. Anyway, this Robert Preston guy was in The Music Man, etc. He plays the dad, who's also kind of always running on a get-rich scheme. And anyway, it's just like a family drama with some lighthearted comedy, and also a lot of realistic rodeo scenes circa 1972 when it was made. It's very unusual for Sam Peckinpah and for Steve McQueen, and it's great. It's really good. I highly recommend it. And it's got an excellent commentary track. Well, they had a bunch of these guys who wrote books about Sam Peckinpah on a lot of commentary tracks, and they were all moderated by this guy, Nick Redman. Nick Redman used to run the Twilight Time boutique label, and sadly passed away from cancer several years ago. And so all these guys, there's a whole bunch of these movies on Blu-ray that have their commentaries, and he moderates very well. And it's really fascinating to hear these experts talk about, the making of that movie, which is kind of a little known movie. I think it even was never released on DVD, so it came straight. Kino brought it out on Blu-ray. Wow. It's beautifully shot. It looks great. Steve McQueen is extremely authentic in it. It's really interesting. And one more thing, I have a Stephen King biography, but I won't show that. One more thing I'll show of my Blu-rays. Let's see. I'll do this. It was known in America as My Partner the Ghost, but its actual title is Randall and Hopkirk Deceased. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's a one season. A lot of these ITC shows, like The Persuaders or Department S or Jason King, or things like this. The same company in Britain that put out Space 1999, The Muppet Show, Jesus of Nazareth, and The Saint, etc. They have a ton of shows, and this is one that's pretty popular in Britain. It did get an airing on primetime TV in the States back in the late 60s, early 70s. Anyway, Randall Hopkirk Deceased, this guy in the white suit, Marty Hopkirk, he's killed. He's run down in the first episode, and he comes back as a ghost and his kind of hangdog partner, Jeff Randall. It's unusual for a British TV show to have a private detective show, so that's what makes it interesting. Anyway, it's a private detective show where his partner, the ghost, hangs around and assists him, and the ghost's widow, played by Annette Andre, very pretty lady. She becomes the secretary for Jeff Randall, the detective. Very fun show. He learns gradually. He has a few powers, like he can blow winds, or but he can't really interact physically with things. But he does often save his buddy Jeff's bacon quite often in the episodes. It's a very fun show, and like a lot of ITC shows, like Space 1999 or UFO and the Persuaders, they have fantastic theme music and incidental music. So that one's a lot of fun. Here, I'll put Deb's comment on there. Alex Rogan is the last starfighter in the film. Yeah, is that his character? Is that the name of the actor, Alex Rogan? I thought he had a different name. Okay, I'm mixing him up with the guy who played the young victim in American Werewolf in London, I think, probably. Deb, thanks for that clarification. And one more book. Well, I'll give two book recommendations, if I may, before we wrap up here. Another fun TV series that I really love is I Spy. Now, I know Bill Cosby is really persona non grata, and he deserves to be an evil, evil guy. But this series was really groundbreaking. It's not so famous now. I Spy. Robert Culp and Bill Cosby play a spies team. Bill Cosby is the trainer, supposedly, and their cover, and Robert Culp is a professional tennis player, but they're actually spies, and they get involved in adventures. I have the series on DVD. It's excellent series, really, and Bill Cosby is very good in it. He won like 3 Emmys for it for each of the 3 seasons, I think, which shows how the mighty have fallen. But because this was pre-Cosby Show, I guess I can kind of stomach, because I only came to him not as a Cosby fan to watch this, but as the show itself. So I can kind of watch him in the show without getting the shudders too much. But and I usually can separate the art from the artist, and that series is great. And this is an excellent look at each episode with interviews with all the principals. And this was unusual for the time because, like Route 66, this was shot on location. Route 66 went around the United States, but I Spy shot in Japan, shot in Hong Kong, shot in Mexico, shot in Greece, shot in Spain. Boris Karloff is in an episode set in Spain. So very fun series. And the book is excellent. This is the same guy, Mark Cushman, who did really excellent books called These Are the Voyages on the original Star Trek series. And to bring it full circle to your Frankenstein, here is Universal Horrors by Tom Weaver and the Brunis brothers. I think, sadly, one of the Brunis brothers died last year, I think. Lance Guest, that's it. Thank you. Lance Guest was in The Last Starfighter. Yes. Robert Preston was Centauri. Yeah, the last part. Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Paul. So Alex Rogan's the character name, and Lance Guest. I knew it was Lance something. I couldn't think of it. Have you seen this, David? This Universal Horrors? It's a beautiful book. It's quite expensive. It's one of those McFarland. If you've ever got a McFarland film book, they're very expensive. It's got a glossy hardback cover, and it's got, a lot of detail about the making of all the Universal horror films. There's no color on the inside. It's all the reproductions are black and white and stuff, such. But it covers. I think they came out with a sequel. This covers from 1931 to 1946, and then they came out with another one, I think, that covered stuff like the Universal sci-fi movies of the 50s that are so fun, like them and the creature movies and stuff. And that again, like I said, it's not cheap. It wasn't cheap when I bought it, but they give a lot of facts about the movie and all the cast, and they talk at length, several pages about each movie, the making of, the contemporary views at the time, etc. It was a lot of fun. If you like that sort of thing.
I do.
And yeah, I think that's all I got at the moment. So if you're out, well,
I'm ready.
You're probably ready to go to bed, right? Because it must be pretty late for you there. I appreciate staying up so late on this stream. Any last things you want to talk about? Anything you got coming up on your channel? there, David?
No, I only do a Friday night show, and then every time I make a video, it's just kind of impromptu. So I just, if I feel like making a video, I make one.
And you often do live streams as well, though, right? So I'm not maybe often, but maybe a couple times a month.
Usually if somebody invites me, but if I do one, it's impromptu, or it's because a friend of mine wants to show some stuff off. So yeah, I
Cool.
mean that's but nothing regular. Like I don't have a regular show.
Well, I think from some of your past ones, I saw you did a Friendsgiving. Was it last year where you did like a bunch of your comic book buddies? You did a bunch of them.
Yeah, one
Was that over?
I did.
Was that over one day? Was that the same day?
No, I did one or two the whole week because I had the week off, and so I scheduled people, and so we just did and I remember being exhausted by the end of the week.
I bet.
I don't know if I'm doing this again. It was fun. It was fun. Right.
Well, I really appreciate you joining me today, and I appreciate everyone who stopped in and commented. Paul and Rob and Deb and Arico and Goatman. Was I forgetting anyone? I hope I wasn't forgetting anybody. I think that's most everybody, right?
Thank you, Eric.
And thank you for stopping in. And anyone either who was up late or was living somewhere where they or up early, I guess, depending on how you look at it, or living somewhere where it is still daytime. Thank you for stopping by. And thanks again, David. I really appreciate it. You spending some time. You need to go to bed, sir, and get yourself recovered so you can meet those middle grade or middle school kids. Is it middle school? Is it 7th, 6th grade? Which do you teach?
6th and 7th, yeah. But tomorrow's Sunday for me.
Yeah,
well,
Sunday I'm glad. Yeah, I don't think you'd be doing this on a Sunday night. All right. Okay. Well, thanks a bunch. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. We'll do this again sometime. Appreciate you coming by. Take care. And David, you have a great rest of the night and the weekend, and everybody too. Happy reading, happy viewing. We'll talk to you again. Thank you.
It usually takes a couple seconds for it to stop, and it's always awkward.
Yeah, we stare awkwardly at the screen until it stops. I should have done an outro. I know some guys have an outro, but
it's still live. I don't.
Oh, that's why, because I didn't.